media to Jaya watch them was Sabio, or my Gania Busaya to our son, Yamana Dobe. And Tignano Crada Bira Dasso, man,
Sompa FM.
Ya war our Vodafone Ghana Limited mu, or how much your mobile said, dear son, or my Gania Quacotona simple, Yanyatimu Pobesi about ton Dutch at Yamupi. Now was a 30% shares no. And then a one chance sworn number of the fear crampo. Ababa PM one nam so mamma Shivania with General Adama the share was so die about 1% so. Ora rocks and Nelson da Fiamapo will be someone Russia with the funeral. Or so Basrada, a moose and some Yanadano crack. Nagana Bayani Abrepa, so Bepesica at Yabome.
The government of Ghana has no plan of selling its 30% shareholding in Ghana Telecommunications Company Limited. Vodafone Ghana, which holds 70%, has transferred its stake to the Telecel Group in February 2023.
And what you know, Anna and Kane minority leader. One more for her now, Idrisu and so other
I haven't listened to the minister. And Mr. Speaker, you recall yourself, you are in this house when the Vodafone SPA sales and purchase agreement was laid before this house in 2008, not necessarily a shareholder agreement. Mr. Speaker, the shareholder agreement had Vodafone 70%, government of Ghana 30%. The minister in her answer today is telling this house that Vodafone Ghana have sold off its shares of 70% to Telcel. She's unable to provide this house with the amount or the value of the 70%. The Speaker, my difficulty is to value the 70% in any sales and purchase agreement. You must have valued the 100% before you can sell off 70 and leave off 30. She represents that government of Ghana 30% interest as Minister for Communication or the Minister for Finance. How is it possible that the minister doesn't have knowledge of the value of the 70%? Vodafone Ghana could not just wake up and sell 70% of its shares.
I was on your turn and carry a for her no juice one caneno. Now don't come a woman Ghana more subject of fear, one another one more about the knee. Your walk and she district court. Now new force movement, a quarter and send so. One more gentle how my Ghana most social media for another be our for one more now cree, one more customer for. Mama Salima abuse Belgium near Babawa. Sabra dear quarter chassa one mama ni belly. Now secretary dear or dear 23 soya 20,000 Ghana CDC. Only your running will say yes, Kabotania. Quarto at the 23 show. Now Ababa way answer no Baba Ghana Mukurampuno. A Ramuchra sent a document Biniade was a way Suku ni a reachre. Naja say a Nyoma would one and Kratano. A father one and no my Ghana Yamra Kwansho. And I'm so Mamma watching a more to Chadia Jobapa Salima Abusi. One young for Francis of Yasusu. One central for Kasai at Transimpinuancy.
The court and the court admits the person to bail. What happens is that the investigators are under a duty to go and inspect the properties or the homes of the sureties. That's what you do. So, assuming court is closing and the judges do not have a place or the court does not have a place to keep the accused person, right? Then an investigator could then say that, well, they will take her and keep her in custody until those inspections are done. But under this circumstance, that's not what is happening. The bail has been granted, the sureties are around, and the sureties have actually properly so-called brought their ID cards and supply same to the register of the court. The only thing left is for the inspector, the investigator to inspect the homes of the sureties so that the sureties will sign for her to be released. That's what is left. But what is happening now that we want to go and keep her and until whatever, I mean, very, very respectfully, that will be an abuse. It will violate her rights to fair trial. It will violate her right to freedom of movement. It will violate her right not only under the Constitution of Ghana, but under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I mean, the UN Convention on elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. I mean, how do you treat a foreigner like that on your land? Ghanaians are also we are also foreigners elsewhere, right? And so how we want to be treated elsewhere is the same way we should be treated other people.
I was your way a lawyer Francis Xavier Sosu and your test worker say. I go not be poor henny. I am an Japan, me or to some uni. One more Korea, traditional council, one the general was acting president. Adiama one more by Nabasui. Was a free senior higher. Mampanya na do and nam na bemu ye ba ye no. Ayadi ababua pa. Was one of the one count for more by no bemu that sunset. Na pasua no ne anya nipa pepian koma won mo kosuku wose ankane na abehuna suku fo nkoda e wose ankabra so se mo kosuku no na bi mu gina so ekwa ho na won mo ton ai so ta ebi mo ton brodo ade de kaka wona so nei sanyo ma no nyina no ato ye twa na se mo aseda enkoma mampanyi na dankwa ekufuado wora sanse we nyina to dwa wabra na agona senior high na won mo di o mo fihia no adiesia e wo suku ni mu na nam so ma na na ajapa me yawe to so mienu okoye a obo aban na baso sei
I want to say that the free SHS is very clear. The House of Parents and Guardians in general and our efforts are made to remain to serve this set of objectives. We are not opinions of the discourse in the public domain of attempts at reviewing the implementation of the free SHS policy. We welcome any idea of review. For heaven's sake, the freeness of the SHS has remained satisfied.
and what you know na elder Kingsley of Orijima one of our headmaster ya aguna di senior high wadano one so kasa sure sampanyu force and children kan for no de na so one de obakanfo ama panyu for wodo mo ba ya nanan matena konyanyina ehunu se agora di senior high no one mo bomode pa afa no ngomesua na fe awokansi ehun sebso
ya achieve no every so that make no asiafo mo twam ha no bibiri akwa nimu school na titi wo ama mo yesa abudie mu so yakwa nimu afi kwa so ngomesua mu no science and math quizzes etimi qualify for national that's 2 times yakwa national score yanko ankondo anope yapoku du fifi nti school no so achieve no na so the school no yaka no bi onye bia no e dey awo how e wo system no how ba kumienu bi e wo idikan antinesi ene so so e ne be say ni administration law ti e be say nti yeso to nsafre aban mo panfo se omo no me na contract am award for administration law no contract am award be my afi so yeda ni bi wo ha ni employer se boy the school no your street be the school ha then so entire ehun so just say road minister na panfo so e the school be ka ho no mo school ha kama amai
anu achi no asante mantemo so for your Simon was Simon saya won so na no nyam akwata adwumade ya chief asa akonya no so atu adesua for pinuafo
yes from say o ma ye nyumaki ko fu di o manimu no asset peace and they have to emulate the peace set by or more predecessors because when my best you have no woman di enya cheche for papa e bi ankomendo be nti omo so emfa ne se ibi ma be chire bia dia ma bia be ye professor doctor ne achiri na omo so emfa ne se omo so betimi achire enefu amebi so abe ye professor enya professor emeritus akodu be mi so rudu bia
anu achi no na pastor Dr. Kwamboache wano I Ministerial Secretary West Central Africa Division the ma SD Asafano one so akasasi no adiama mona so ani amwaye yantoa ansam no eso na ayato asam no so ade amamo na nwumesuamu an yeguso adaya yegina ababada jasa Ghana Education Service agina ne tumi so asantemantamu headmaster ne headmistresses empanyufo ba se duba akoye omdada suku anono wano kyeresa wano ntenanchen kakra ko ise hwemu abekoso we no nyina da no aye sika bia ya tetia se wano mojeje ade frade suafo ye nei wano ba hofo kra ba fresh famuafo ya wano ba no wo jeje sika de free wano ho a kyese ansam fata na ne GS emra enso eboabura na suku ya yansakia ye no aye Kumasi Girls Senior High no Mrs. Salina anane afuakwa one headmistress ya wadano Ora Nathaniel Samoa headmaster Asantema Senior High Ora Andrews Boating headmaster Kumasi Senior High Technical School na se KSTS no anochi no Ora Kojo Obea apia one headmaster ya Manso Dubia Senior High wadano anankaya no aye Ora Daniel Boamaduku headmaster ya Agrikinzima Community Senior High wadano Miss Gladys Safua aye headmistress in Carrier Senior High Ora Ampon Ahmed Omar headmaster Collins Senior High when in Panyofo ahodoa enei Ghana Education Service agina one more to misua one more chance one more tenanchen kakra nam sika sam won sansam bia awofo binum de abo wonom ekwa adunti sane ba na hwemu betumi akoso nti ewose no sabe pepe enam so amakasema fo be de chirde masoyi a ahwo ma Ghana yenwomsua won sam so Ora Ernest akosa wone Sompa kase adi nkomo ya wochom sempanyufo wodo ye ne wo mudi aba to dwa no sabi onye sabi ade gu won mani mu ase anasempo yayi won ma dikura na mmomu no wona ba bo ma hye mu sonko a empanyufo pese won mo ye no atumi awie payentia
Maso muhwehwem no mu Sampa kwadu na ye de abo mu no no kreso mu di Jesus can the says can be adwin a page here mu de edit because of no good intent but as to say I'm not all the discount mra no ma ho kwan so when Jesus can before kra now mu be start admission processes no na at the regional levels no automatic committee a design committee no mu ba area as a friend candidate no ma be kwan mo fa so ye process ni ade ni nyina nti no mu do mo nkuri say bibisa koso and no mo hinted regional Director of Education. So we the course school we course the headmasters no from no do krata no e mo mo se kwadu we na dia bon they say the committee baba be hwehwem na tinye establish Sampa who did say can they are doing the church mo de gege and no na obodo mo fa na but for now they have to step aside say ya hwehwem ebetini akọ say no yeah decentralizing no ma be at the regional level na kasa mo be put at the committee na o ma hwehwem say we na ya at least o mo interrogate o mo no say bia e we or otherwise now and I'm going to be taking my own course but
I know no headmasters and headmistress I want to warm my gun and one woman come on cool I Charles one more president Reverend Father Stephen Owusu Seche one so kasai I trust and I want to and they Ghana Education Service and yes so yeah show my gun and woman so so true no one more fast sir
Miankasa mehu nkrata no ya igwa bontresa no na me ra hofi say ye nye masa so ho se bia ma ya de kwa na ya me letter send it to social media no na ansa kwa na me kwa me nsa aka no enye ade a wo se barisa enso nyina mu no mintimi nkase nema me ni nyina aye da bi mintimi nkasa ebi wo miankasa mehu say o ma ye so ma ye no ha dwene na we no akwese is alleged you know if is alleged there any kwan say ye so pa wo mu ense de adno ma because when we meet Nkoma na do so my answer omunye in some cases you know omo I can't hear me say most of them no e wa Ashanti region oko Eastern region e bi wo ho e no de e say ba kwa na mienu bi wo ho e say ba ko Eastern region ba ko Accra e na Bono region na ye tell say omo no e frɛ won no mu di Nkomo e ma na so mu yi na yi bibre free mu e na de aka na say e course school ho bi wo kra na head ni mu ho hwe na me say course school ni ntino na yes okay e munya nche
I was your president Adema Charles Cornwall Father Stephen Owusu Seche no na samenti ya kwa mano so na secretary the Mark Council of PTE Ora Raphael Gabson akwakodi enkomo asem say ba na se fa batan anasa herfo ane achachofo na afi nkoda ho enti e wose ne PTE panyefo so edi nkomo ya ra mo ajo so TV suni Upon your case, I'm what you are. What's a man?
Hello?
You're out to man.
Hello?
Or Raphael, my joy.
Hello?
You. You're a Raphael, Metal and Cower, how many names I want to man, my joy.
Says in a metonka, first in the man to the Okana, to see the metonka.
Quase,
and I myself shall say, be mamma, and I mean who will be the free answer.
I found a masha, young poor, I am a war.
Major Mosopa, Mechama Chama Tiaphone, Tito, our phone tia, multi 20, yes, so yeah, you might be a small minor.
Yes, I'm official. Now,
yeah, Jamoso, you may now so official. I think combine sounds better, and that's what in coming in your cost where I brought.
Now, I have thrown a number year and your bonnet. Sasia no Ghana Education Service diaba. So companion for Binomua and nay yet a tear. One majesty kakra free sukun kodawa titiri ne form 1 for no one tenant chairman hwemu nkoso no asam bi se ba piti mona edama bamsan sam gina mu de ma awofo achechefo na afei adesuafo no ntem we wan ye mfa so bo mo no eyamo abatan ana achechefo so ka ho bi
mentia se ye mfom so ana se achechefo mfom so wana mentia se antigo ye mpacho
ano so na me bi se we no akwakwa ne se eya gigi sika ade afra bata ho no eya wofo binum na ya na won mo ye se bia won be prea na headmasters ana se headmistress na won mo di se adwuma no wo mo ne yemfa sa so bo ne ma wo mo se akwaba ne se yi ana
eri ka meda wase emi se mete wase mu yi a na line twetwasi mete wase mu yi pa dia bi wo gidie se da de opese o che ne se sika gigi no mu so say mo tete ne say mi say awofo ni bi e dey risk prepare hands for no so omo nje no omo kwan na omo ba mu nko school ananya za na woka no
opanyo no kra
ne kwani nya me nim sa asam ne de ne kwa bi enim omo de ba awofo a entwa yi de di kan de say nyina ti ase ne say omaye etimu no mba na de adwuma aban the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service. Any stakeholders this year, yeah, dear, your ambassador meeting in Mubi. But Yanti say, Charles, now conference of heads of senior secondary schools. Omuko Jina, headmasters in the name of secondary and secondary schools in Yano. Any abai equadri ko Benkum say, prospectus no, say a son so, no, no more being free. No man so omo nyina gitu mu say yin film no no gidie say omo yin film no aboa ya awofo no enti say me buy nya admission na me aware say maybe normal list of items be 20 and I say me boa ba mo de ko do school no na me ko do school no mu a ko na fa so nya sa no man de sabe enye school no enye omo ma hihia ma say ade we obi wa ha beto na ha enkoto no wa ha. Because school system now around in the public schools no. And yes, a man can say a turn no school no more. Because the amount of conflict of interest are a breach code of conduct of GS or a staff of GS a breach code no. And it is a normal abama can say money wajuma. Na mo fan fiche na mo ye wajuma. Just a mo disuma sega. And as I do a tiambra. It is na omode abana step aside na sefo na dodo o me prospectus normal omode account hello
opanye me ti opa
hello
opanye me te wonke
hello
what me nka
mente mo nka ile
afedi ya what me nka
mente wonka enti o twa yi say na GS di abana say yen nyina yen di so no normally bi omode akwa kaka ho no wo official letterhead so no the account was part of admission and yet approved and sanctioned by GS. It is a walk or yes, I know man, no Kunyawasima. We had done this as to one double for. They are from the woman say. Yenya by ya again say, Chesham Brand and Tina Man Brand and Tintima. And I said, Yansha Kranke. That is one. Two, everyone has a protocol admission. Admission, you are head and outcome protocol admission. Mudi 2000 na sefo sensem na omodi atu kata so two director general office two regional directors no e dey interdicting those heads no akara nso mo step aside no se aba ni mu a es no ko kire mu se aba bi enim wo mo fa subo bi ambebo awfo wo mo fa subo bi ambre nti e ba aba aba so se wo tu sa na mo no se me me sha mbra na obi endi su kwa e se omo nye adwuma omo sha mase no omo di mbra no so ene dia funso bi enim
wo panye yo hwe ni sei ayo wo ba ta bi so wo hono mu a wo be pesa wo be ma headmaster sika kakra na bia nneoma bi wo hono mu a wantimi antoto mfa ma no wo mbetoto no suku ni mu preku na ebi mo soso a apepere wo no ho a wo no makwa charge ensi abata bi no mu kwan se bia ne de no anka bia nko be ma sika se yenya ne ntam fa ma no no entimi nko be kasa
me say unim se sika sem de won so hwe eso unim sa ana man kan yi
ano na wo ken
pepe amane ama me bo ana yesi na nya ada na akwakoye interest dey na wo mu unim say o yes a conflict of interest and a BTDS code of conduct me kuta do about conduct code of conduct e pichi say normal to school mu a involve staff any school management no etiambra sabe say school no premises ni mu no say outside the school premises more public places are more feel say omo koto no man ebo afua you can make a recommendation but you cannot compel them to buy the items from there
na wo be so be kasa sia no a
na more to the point come listing no man dey to post say one toss no man nyina na ya ma admission no I know how na asem no wo into we there ni kwanya me hu aban fo so bia wo
okay
ayeno mu nya na akwa tena sa hyehyɛ say mo man motive station mo ni management
okay
maybe that money management maybe say mo nya ba money management
ayo management ha
table management
no correct
production no amoye no money insure that production ho into obi ya bibi na sinto ba affect station no more patients inti eno de mesre de mesre ko aban no say through Ghana Education Service one say omo nsem no mo hwe fom because information no do manya no kwa no do de wo abonte kwa do so chen do manya
okay
because I no man no cost wa emboaye na mesre aka ma ke say ebi su say skani bi won na PTA phone na dia aba PTA sika nya aban sika
okay
PTA sika anya aban sika ena yeso a kire yankọ for PTA phone no mo schools ni mu nyina ne say admission ba no be admission omo dia no so omo bokoko ama awofo na ti omo anse say PTA na ewo ho no ewo ma ye nyina yankọ da na say ne ya hyehyɛ ya to ho mo ba be gi admission a mo mbo amo ho nsankwara na ba officially no ma be ka school ho a saa no mo wo be twa dues ni levy say e di abo ma PTA no atumpon because normal PTA no be no nkwada no titwe ne baby so mfa so ena ma awofo no modern bo omboa e de bo school no awofo bi on ma so ofele so obetuma tua na enye nse na otua na ebi fema ene sa scan ko enye school management ya
Raphael Gabson and your tenant canon why your secretary the Mark Council of PTA na mo franchise ahoma no wanchemenka anichi na edruma bi anase ne kasa no kwa ansa na medie no aba no yetoa ensem no so anbipia manyoko no ahyase ya won mu asigina yasa enei mosome bia no won barasa ne baya aban na ne suade hu na botaya na neoma akoto bia waye efra badada na penso de wontumi anya ya aban ba ye wotumi atoato so nyina no bosome bia da won bado na di amagana de hye ambi enam so amanei no won mo hyase de frapomdi mu nsam awasantemantemu a eneoma wodo ye fa na pomdi mu neoma won ma ye beti se Fomena government hospital Konongo government hospital ba kwai government hospital ni ate ne nyina wo mo to so ama samtrofo ehunu bi eno nam so ma santemantam so fo ye wa Simon o Simon sa de ato dwasanya no kwa da biara da sambipi awanyeko betena so no apomde nyuma kopi no wo hono mu a worom toto na se jeje mu a ya banda da ne ye nei won man pani kura amfa hwe akire
ayansa bia hodo obeto ya na ekoso no se bia ban na jagua na wonyango ye nyina ye hu se ye nwotwe ene ye bobo so ye kan be kwai ye wi a ye use ye kan tepa ye wi ye use ye kan konongo ye wi ye use ya kan Fomena ye wi a wo mu receive use receive patients. I can say president be ban officially or be commission. Kuma we you didn't feed in a boom. The aka yes is here cleaning and also the ensure that market the regional director and health service. The visa and say the ben normal day Dr. Fonia ifo beko and you know the man say omo share down for being free baby omo Kumawu hospital dada no and omo transfer omo no omo corner say omo nso a ansa no de bia dai akososo ti Kumawu no nso ye wi afare ne challenge see defense ministry etimi the contractor na resolve contractor na back to site so we are
and what you know Santamantemo original director of Ghana Health Service Dr. Emmanuel Tenkwa won so de kakra esoso
facilities are boy ni nyina no ebekwa wiye no ni anya 32 hospitals for Shanti region. Debia because it's phenomenal. A period of 8 years which means fancy 32 hospitals not even in a country but in a region like Ashanti. Inti ye nyina ye hu amodin bo a abina bo within this short period. Inti ye challenge kese ewo ye healthcare delivery system no eyina agya konfanochi obia wa konfanochi bia obehu say the facility is being constrained in terms of workload any bia na omo need that space no if you say obia e ba ho nti strategy ayafa ni say we have to decentralize the facility. Said a condition bia ubenya bia bia wo bia no ehia so be ba konfanochi rather no betimi akoba bia enti de o mo bia ni nyina no ya na specialized hospital em certify bae no o ka kire o se orthopedics any near no ehia kwa so be konfanochi wo kotepa de wo top orthopedic surgeon ho a obetimi ayeden obetimi ahwe o see, I work from now, basically for maternal and child health, and then for fertility. If you say near who say ABA or Ba, who here or buying near my open who near 5 hospitals I can see.
I was away as Santamantemo original director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Emmanuel Tenkwa on your turning came. 21st clinic, 1 year sciatica expert pa. Yes, I found a what was centenary word about number of no. I don't know about for Cassam way I can assess sciatica. Now, say, dear, where about so I was sharing a half journey. I was saying, penny for ya, the Uncle to meet you one of them. Where I could I fear in Fishiani do no more crow. Sciatica bet me at Chwaman way, and Tian was on Son Hopa. Yes, I done a I was 21st clinic here, branches in a dozen. For my Ghana for another be other we Woko Kumasi was show overseas junction. The buyer for radio. Wabuasen so your council quarters court junction. And Cradle Market, Sunyon and Kwanza and Atachiman. Frey, I was 0249 311 311 and 0546 311 0540 311 311 0540 311 311 3 herbal center near the 3 capsules abba. I kwakoma setedru edu papa no one no sisi ade no ayam timu anase mpokoko no nyina da eba beko 3 capsules no eboa pa yanko akona keba dan heba mistia ba epidank habme pharmacy ebenya bia to anase fra homai 0546 107 107 0546 107 107 Mizo and a 5G drink and I account for Diama Wabusia Nya be a pebito na bronya no an ye no adechin wa dia fe enti pebe no towate fa tobi man kwada no fa hye fridge nim na nchele kama kwada no no bogo ne boase you drink papa no nie wa no wanya hoden yampanyefo de no so nie aya 5G wonya bi e beboa mema no titiru mononom na mofanya adwumaden wo koma ne jatan yo ho 21st clinic ehwe overseas wonya bi ato ana wo de pendodo mu tu fra homan 0246 270 221 0246 270 221 ya jina waso ni aton kra ya ba pinua na akachi
21st clinic aye sciatica expert sciatica no o nerves na wo to ase na fa wo siremu na fa wo nansia besi ase ho no se ho techema eno ene ye fa ne sciatica na etimi bubu o to ase ka wo se dwe wo sirem wo je ho ba bia enye na eno na 21st clinic ba ye adwuma pa wo mu ye nti abaso bo magine wo Ghana ha ene amono ne enyasem ketewa wo mu ji international awards ahodo wo mu ji local awards ahodo na anu nso na wo mu be the only sciatica research and treatment center in Africa bibrim hano ebini baby a gise 21st clinic nkwa wo mu dia bibiduro ene besa o yare no masa de machine aka ho yare sabia yare bia wutimi de ko ne mama de ba ko a wo magidi wo mu pa no sciatica ena stroke nso de kwa diabetes ne hypertension ne ade Ghana ha baby a wo mu ho 0540 311 311 0540 311 311 na 21st clinic wo mu ye sciatica expert.
Introducing Mixer 5G Sparkling Drink, a whole new refreshment in a can. Mixer 5G is a tasty non-alcoholic drink. It is a perfect companion for all your events, including parties, weddings, and funerals. It is made with green tea, ginseng, guarana, grapes, and grapefruit. Get refreshed with Mixer 5G Sparkling Drink. For bulk purchases, contact 0246 270 221. This advert is FDA approved. TV Emma Akitiapa.
Sama Chenya Maya Kwabayo 27 so. And this Yamanyokono de Abasa Chakra 24-hour economic policy. One more Ababa Nantena, one much richer mo. Yellow John Dramani Mahama 24-hour economy noa. Waka wa samna ni papi no agina chinyi sentime maswono wo ma chechire mu sentia wono aka sebetumi abam na ebra wono friends central father to wono manim e wa makomu no Ashanti regional secretary Dima Andisi Amanyoko no Dr. Frank Amwako hene wono Sompa kase kasai e chechire mu sani so ade hono de sopa na nyame adoma enche ebebem si
aha NDC regional secretariat na ye na before am media any TV station, radio station, a frame and a pay. A frame because a Dumano to do na money. Na NDC was anti-mantem ha. There were two and a mobia. A better change political terrain. Na bois, ama Kunimdia, Abama is a sense John Dramani Mahama. Na bois so a marsh and to my atimi acronym. Dumadia Ebedi say, and Chebiano, that is said, Yamampani John Dramani Mahama. I wanted to Frank Adiama NDC Amanukuno. But the policy betrol the jar or church the Muse Nakopoya Domna, they say, you know, as Mampania. Obabua Ama, a year, and Numakua, a war on my imuno. Yet me, Abia Numakuno, Abribiara, Anopa, Avia, and Numer Dasum, said a bear. Your mana, any Yabusia for a year, Duman of Panapon Ecofino. The bedroom and numerous one. Na ya fan crofo a omuni aduma sensei to so aduma na omo so ba beye anwumre aduma no na aboa ama aduma ye ne sika bebre atinya ba yensem ama ye man so so a eni school oma wie school omuni aduma no so atinya nya aduma ayi
I was your way Dr. Frank Amwako hene no waya Santa Mantemo regional secretary Dima NDC Amanyoko no ya to so na MPP Amanyoko no panyipa wono akoya banisika semu a wabenimu owo kwame pianim na de to jatra se ha dwene sabapem na bibi maye ntumi nkonkoye nimu esika sam nyina da atoto ape bapem sesebra ha na wo bu nkonpon ko hwe na chi afi apem hankona duosia 1960 nimu na wo hwe ba bi o ma Ghana ne yewo ene Malaysia man ena Nepal Malaysia GDP atimi adu $33,000 no ana se wo man no Ghana ya yakachi pa asi empanyi fo ne sika sama di one man ni mo mbepa akonya sika sam ne pesame nkuminya nti obi abatena so a ne de ne hia no Ghana no amu de anya no ne yehwe.
It has become increasingly and painfully evident that the leadership deficit in Africa is very expensive. When we start showing the graphs, I'll show you how Ghana and Korea started at the same level of per capita income around the 1960s. In fact, we were higher. 62 years later, Korea has a GDP per capita of $33,000 US. Ghana, $2,000 US. The leadership deficit cost is $30,000 per head of every Ghanaian that people like me and the political leaders of this country owe as a reparation to each Ghanaian the cost of the leadership deficit.
I was away, Ora Kwame Pianim near Turning Cano. Now, Panyapa, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj, Ayora Joseph, Rota, now watch them was a name. LGBTQ plus Wamobele Aquatom Rasha Jofia Ranimo Somba to Mirgia Tumuno was a crata funny go honoma was and Sacria to me Bemusan set Sakwabasi Tanasa Mayaji Tumua Edo Hawka Sia Pa and a better woman wankasa which I must say 1 year some George and Empanyophobia one more. Womas you more see and yin tum dear. Now so no yan Tanasimiru, Neasan one sacra tanua, a wakana a fababino, yan rana Sacria Pampa into me meraho.
From the Universal Periodic Review report 2022, Ghana came up very well recommended in terms of what Ghana has done in promoting and protecting human rights at the Human Rights Council. But the peers of Ghana have also indicated to Ghana areas of concern that they think Ghana should work on. And some of those areas are part of what we have discussed today. What is the view of Shraj on that? The view of Shraj has been captured by in our memorandum to Parliament, and it's on the net. We have raised very pertinent concerns of the constitutionality of some of the provisions and clauses of the bill. I see from the beginning of the discussions on the consideration stage that our concerns, some of them are even beginning to be addressed. But the key ones that relate to freedom of expression, the right not to sympathize with any person who professes that type of orientation, and some institutions having to undertake some education on the bill when it becomes law, we think it's quite problematic. Because you can't ask the Shraj, which is supposed to promote and protect the rights of all persons, to particularly indicate or advocate or train or educate people only on aspects of the provisions of that bill.
Alright, Joseph, we're on your turning cano. After your 27 so. Now, our Wasambia see a war a sunset, and no watch, man, will be a job not the Mansino emu. Or Robbie, a one young Finchiano, a Dunum and Cono. Nidine Eric, a champon. One near and a ma and a tia wabruch memo. Now, say, Mobas, and I watch me in winter and Waba Ghana. So, Baba Serebushia, a Wissansi, and Wabaya. And I don't for baby a friend Angelina. One of Tradia war, Jumam senior high, and a Jawanini Ribomwa, so more Cosro manum. I was Sansena Jawufriwa, 1 mark of Fiacodi, and Como. I was your bidding the Aquaba yet, and no matter no one and I'm one and I'm one and I'm one. Yanni Pabon for Quaco bear money to pay, and no one on watching an animal in Seattle. Saquabana say no, I had the end to meet him. Now, my four been working castle or bano, a bet me about Sabia and a codon quia, and there be a bano show on penna, and I'm an aquabana son and penaquabono, and also Macobo bear money too. Now, Nankia Bomodensi and Sabaka, Ora Erica Champon, Yawan fish, and a Dunum Cono. The mamma named Pomam and Mary. But I have severed and son about Quatia. Now I don't know to chunk, and I was here more shy. I was Sompa TV. No swano, I will run the Daswano, Nanimo Yampa. What by a Facebook one ma I have Sompa 93.1. YouTube near Sompa TV, Mudamonquana Monco Hebi. I will run 1 year fish and a wɔn na yere ne ma na tie wɔ America mamu wɔba bɛsra wɔ maame wɔba na wɔtwe mienu pɛpɛpɛ so nie wɔne na danfo ba ɛna ɛkɔsra wɔ maame wɔn kɔyɛ nipa bɔnfo akɔbɔ no nko aturu wɔba de yɛ mo ne tuo bi enti asɛm ne mu ayɛ wram ya kyesa twetwe aso na nke yɛbɔ modern se yansa bɛka Madam Mary enso yapusu ahoma no a emsa network no enim wa yento yentoa ensɛm so ya to so na Tamale Central Mashebadwane ye onmonyamfo Ibrahim Mohammed ana wode ato dwa etra se ha adwene ena kura da kyesa Ghana no wadwere ne obi ho a wonte ase de obeye bia se ye nuanom ne ana do om ho agimu se nsa se yo amufu a waye ewa tifedo mantemu ane enka 1000 bags ena nko obenya ewi akira 93 bags pe no okonya won kohwe mu ayese no ma bi efifre hehe se ko divuo se Malaysia o se hehe ababa mu ni nyina amache se bags e wo se nko twade enka wo se 1000 bags no wanya 93 bags pe akwakwa ya roho sempa enam somwade atodwa wo mrahebadwafie ya wone nsem twofo atwetwe nkomo kire se wo man no kamia se kuade anke o man ya chibremu so man wa no do ani to kokko so na anya ya emo no ya de bayere bode menkane ni nyina no etumi me yesika mane ye enti de ba pa na kwaba ya amenne eno man so atie se mo so a ene ye momom ene no ma wo mani kire so
suck the milk from the rice when it is the milking stage. So you find a rice farm maybe when you're about to harvest, but you realize that they are made up of empty shells. Because the best would have sucked the milk out of it about 85th, 90th day there, about that's the time it is milking. I have several farms, and one of my farms actually, the best actually destroyed it. That particular farm was the smallest, which was about 57 acres, and I got just 93 bags from that farm. I was projecting at least close to 1,000 bags. Yes, because of, you see, the rice, the yield you get is also anchored on land preparation, on fertilizer, on the way you prepare the land. I know a gentleman whose farm is just by my farm, 100 acres. He decided that he wasn't going to harvest because if you harvest, you won't get anything. And I know several people whose farms were affected. And all these things would affect the productivity or the output we get from rice production each year. And for me, that is extremely worrying. The information we got was that Tanzania had similar case, and what they did was that they used drones. The drones were able to identify the habitat, that is where they best, sleep at night. And during the night, they had these chemicals they put in the drones, and the drones, when sprayed them, a lot of them died, and some of them migrated to Ghana. And for me, that is extremely worrying. Oh, you have birds that come from Europe. I mean, you have birds. So this particular birds are not like some birds, they come on your farm just to pick insects, but this one they take the rice. And in fact, even after the rice is fully germinated and dried, harvested,
I was say your common so na na Mary akwakodim komo wono ana ba tan asebe no so no ba kwatie ne ba efra brochire aba Ghana wo ba sra o maame ewi akire wakowui maame madwoe maame ya mawo yakwo Madam Mary, what's a man can Marjorie? Mary, Marjorie, or some person here. I was your French and technicians and a Yabasra, Momo May, why? Mary, a Yamuajo. Are you? Madam, what's a man can Marjorie?
Hello.
Mamma Yako. Mamma Yamo Yako, Asha, so. Homani ni moye yansan ko bi mu hey madam Barotemenka. Hello madam
yansan na news ni
madam Barotemenka mete wode ya minim sa woteme de no a yo abusiamo fanchaya na nke base ne ma Mary di nkomo na so ya homani ni muaye Yasramwa. Marshaba Jania, what you know the moment for a bantama about to empress so your monyan for Francis as and so watch it. And what the sewing machines are what draw. Ya ne bonus some 50,000 Ghana cities, Aqua Chess and Trusso, Takanaka Institute. Ya don't know about Manus Opportunity Industrialization Center. And no our bantama. Na Aqua the choir and I saw the one pound a botire. Say nuano mo asabio won musuansa no nyuma no so no won betumi anya nuama ba ko mienu bia won be twetwa won ho de hia dam na ebra wo ko ye no won Sompa kase akasa asi
technical and vocational education. So the way the plan and yet so we are because we are so university. Because we are we will plan a mahu idea. We are because I'm on it. I'm putting special emphasis on technical and vocational training. So the way I'm trying with the students and do maybe say carpentry, say fashion, so fashion, and I say. Mason Juma, any electrical work and all that. And on that, it's me bois. Because I know man, it's more any creative jobs and my economy. And to me, no, my name principal, the thing to home. No, who say machines, machines, almost a can. About bois, I'm on training. This is
and what you know, and a principal the Mass Trust Takanaka Institute. Or Ebenezer Kweku, one so da on Munyan for yes.
Education in Ghana, by 9 pounds. Resource Tibet institutions be bringing. I said, Tibet Bay here, I just said equipment and a bed one. Said I'm a kind of by 9 be then said, MP, meaning the Kasai, or Beshay school. Now, okay, school. School born more than papa, but equipment I be training and a higher kaka. You need enough. And so, baby, it's a fashion design here. You need equipment, baby. Especially industrial machines. I be for school. I'm a school. Actually, the modern things are brand new. And so, you need MP Kasai and then the Wabaya and new machines. The machines not their brain. Said I'm kind. School be according to Ghana, say a policy I want to say. Also school be an accreditation.
I know you know any addition for the being so edim como say.
I have a person you don't know fire for something so. Now Abuai, I'm a Nyoma be in here for machine and then they are eating the tomb eating a machine. The choir may pass out to me away and say, but why am I? That's a practical. Say, when a industrial machine and a permanent tender, a same house sewing machine. The boy am a practical in terms of that time out. See machine in my not say, not add the way, say, it's not machine. The machine in my command say for unity, but we wait men unity out for now. And now we sign everyone to not fast. Say everyone to not on no one. We don't every time more on my bed.
I was away a Sontraso Takanaka Institute at the Shore for Binmoney. Express Group now your comfort your mouth. Oh, Papa, I was able to me to quiet Jojo. Ya Timachubia Mahua, a Express Group, ya Doba Quate. Ya the other say on Fantata, ya Wokumasa of labor runabout. And cry can she first light to be 0249 000448 0249 000448 48 ofra yebejo so kama awusu ha na yede ensam no nyina esie yemfa seda emma akosua somwa wana betina fidi na chichinchim ye ya grace enfidide mo no so bo modern pa kukua verika jando wono so ye na fam de ensam fo panyo asante abo benedict wanko enye yemu me ambetina se amekenkan ye eyeme akosua ajewa kode boaten yadamase amomonitia adehye